What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Wanted to make a quick video together for you guys. There's been some updates and some new partnerships with XinFin. In today's video, I know there's always some FUD with things, so I've heard some FUD about, the Dazzle Bridge not being saved, XinFin not being a viable project to look at, company to look at long term. And in today's video, the goal and the objective is to really just show some of the development, because I had some comments on the channel for some other videos that there's not been things happening with XDC. Where's the adoption? So in today's video, some very recent developments that I've had to just get out to you guys because it would just be I'll be completely remiss to not mention them. So thanks for coming by again. Let's just get into it. And if you like XinFin and you like XDC and learn about the cryptos of the future, don't forget, please leave a like, leave a comment on this video, and that helps support the channel. It pushes the magical YouTube algorithm out to more people so that we can keep growing. All right, let's just dig into this video, because one of the first partnerships that I wanted to talk about was for a new digital asset custodian. You see here, licensed digital custodian Propine announces partnership with XinFin XDC network. Now, I dug into this. This is just a pretty cool use case. You see here, the developed software solution is integrated with XinFin to serve its users with institutional grade security and fully compliant and insured custody service. So you can see, out of Singapore, which seems to be where everything is in the crypto world these days, partnered with XDC. The partnership is going to allow the XDC ecosystem to benefit from institutional grade security and fully compliant and insured custody service, together with layered governance and security practices built in for safety, maintenance, and delivery. So under the agreement, Propine has actually developed the software solution, and they've integrated it with XinFin to serve the blockchain user. So this just basically makes the security and that tokenization layer of XDC even more secure. And they are the first blockchain to join the Global Trade Finance Initiative, the TFI. They want to get the ITFA, rather. They are the first blockchain to join that consortium. So will there be others in the future? Potentially, but they've got to be secure. One of the main challenges, and we'll actually get into that in a minute here, is just how can things be tokenized? We know the very large, multi-trillion dollar market cap that XDC is going after, the global trade finance. There's a lot of challenges right now. One of those main challenges is that a lot of the security instruments that's involved with importers and exporters, they cannot be digitized right now. So there's actually legislation and global standards that's trying to be adopted via like the United Nations. Regardless of how you feel about all those global organizations, just know that these things are coming, right? So we'll get into that. But Propine is actually pushing the way, making XDC more secure. That just makes me feel more confident, because again, I know any of these big corporations and global enterprises, they don't care about, yes, there are some other systems that are technically, they could be faster than XDC, but are they as secure? Are they as inexpensive? And can they seem that public-private permission? Can they do all the things that XDC can do? No. And enterprises, at the end of the day, that's what we want. For us to make money as investors, again, not financial advice, but we want to get in on the projects that enterprise is going to get on for the most part. That's what I look at, So it's just going to let them be more secure. Now, Propine provides a suite of custodial and asset servicing solutions to accredited and institutional investors. So that's like you have to fit certain parameters. You have to have a certain number of net worth and all that. It depends on the country. Here in the United States, they regulate, or you have to be accredited to have those, those lofty titles. The solutions safeguard digital assets through segregated blockchain-based wallets, and they enable trading through integrations and partnerships, and offer a range of corporate action distributions for any form of capital market. All right, well, I won't keep reading this. I'll link this in the video if you want to read more. But Propine here, you see, just wanted to bring them up just to kind of see exactly, let's bring up the website. Like, what do they actually do? You can see here on the About Us page, which is where we are. Enterprise looking to conduct a cost-effective private, let me actually back that up. Sorry about that, guys. Enterprise is looking to conduct a cost-effective private offering and wanting global access to investors. venture capitalists and fund managers wishing to have improved liquidity of illiquid assets. So yes, global trade finance would definitely be considered an illiquid asset class. Real estate owners seeking to allow fractional ownership to investors. I don't think people really fully realize how big real estate tokenization with NFTs is really going to be, and XDC is leading the way. Their technology, for lack of better words, there is phenomenal for this use case, and increasing asset liquidity while creating investment opportunities. I'm really excited about that. I hope that I can use some of my XDC in the future to somehow get into that real estate tokenization. I mean, imagine you're a real estate investor. I was actually talking with one of my realtor partners today. I was explaining this, as a real estate, if you're a real estate agent watching this video, you're already way ahead of the curve. But you pretty soon in the future, when we're buying and selling real estate, it's going to be on blockchains like XDC. Now, will it be that here in the United States? I don't know. That's super speculative at this point, but it definitely could be related. It could be maybe a network of systems that not every single area and jurisdiction is going to be on one, but that tokenization in that asset class is going to be super important, and it's one of the most exciting things, at least for me personally. So that's a big challenge that XCC is solving through that partnership. Now let's talk about the actual challenges with I think one of the major challenges right now with what XinFin is trying to do and them actually getting adopted, is that you see the D&I initiative attracts more institutions committed to driving adoption of MLETR. I wanted to break this down. There's so much you can go down the rabbit hole when it comes to XDC, but this basically is, let me bring this up. The MLETR, I had a breakdown of what the actual name of it is here, and it's actually, I got it right here, the Model Law on Electronic Transferable Records. So it's basically a new standard from the United Nations Commission on International Trade Law. Being in crypto long enough, you see there's so many acronyms. Especially when you start looking into DeFi, there's so many acronyms, your brain just hurts. But you see here, sometimes you forget all of the different acronyms. But they basically are trying to develop this so that what this does, it provides a workable framework to facilitate the use of digital original documents as negotiable instruments. So that is the main bottleneck in trade finance. That's why we don't see all of these enterprises running in. Now, a network of networks behind the scenes is being built. Now, so sometimes when you see these enterprises, you see who they're partnered with, and you form who's that network, who's their partner of that, sort of like that. What is that game they call it? The 5 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon, how many, this partner is partnered with this person, and once you step back and you examine the full network, you see, wow, behind the scenes, sort of very similar to what Quant is doing. You don't see all the direct partnerships, but when you start seeing, Oracle, and you start seeing their network that you get access to because of one strategic partnership. The same with Ripple. They do the same thing, with Finastra partnering. So it's you look at some of these larger partnerships, and then you get access to that. But the main problem, though, is that you cannot actually, those instruments between those different, importers, exporters, it needs to be digitized. And that's basically what this MLETR is. In a nutshell, it basically is focusing on the concept of functional equivalence, and it signifies the ability of a technical solution to demonstrate the key properties of physically signed paper documents. So that's what it is. That's the main thing, is that it's so slow right now because all of these, you trade, from one country to another, and it takes too long. It just takes too long, and it's inefficient. And you see here, the MLETR has already been adopted by Bahrain, Singapore, and Abu Dhabi. Global markets also envisioned, supported strongly by the ICC, that the UK will adopt laws aligned with the MLETR in 2022. And you see here, the International Trade and Forfeiting Association, the ITFA, has established the Digital Negotiable Instruments Initiative to digitize guarantees. So just that in and of itself is going to lock up trillions of dollars in liquidity that's just been typically trapped in these older systems. XDC is going to be able to capture that, or at least a large chunk of that. How much of the $19 trillion, or, you know, I've seen some estimates even higher than that. So who knows? I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to be exactly $1 trillion. Who knows, you know? But even if it's just the size of Ethereum, you know, we're looking at $100, $80 to $100, you know? So actually, what would it be? I forgot. Let's see here. Let's say XDC. I don't know what it would be if we're just the market cap of Ethereum. I mean, we'd be at one XDC would be at $32. From where we are right now, that would be, you know, I'd be happy with that. You know, I've made a pretty good return on that. So, and I think that's completely doable. Could it be larger than that? Absolutely. So solving these issues of getting these documents that's involved in that loop, it's going to close that loop. Now you see here on this website, that's what we just talked about, the DNI initiative, making that adoption of that global standard. That's why it's so important for people to understand about XCC. Now, the DNI initiative has demonstrated how existing technologies facilitate the rollout of MLETR-compatible laws. Over the last 2 years, both Finastra and China Systems extensively shared their ambition in that space and provided strategic proof points through the integration of, I can never say this name right, Inigio's DDOC compliant technology. So explains Andre Cashman, Chair, FinTech Committee, ITFA. So we are now concentrating on the demand side, helping corporates and trade digitization platforms discover the benefits of digital trade instruments, focusing primarily on bills of exchange, promissory notes, and guarantees. So that in that realm of operating in that industry, in global trade finance, that's just basically, you're not, a lot of times companies, they operate on net 30 or net 60, maybe even net 90 days, where they're not, they basically will get a bunch of goods or raw materials to manufacture, right? And they will basically run that on credit, and they won't pay that for maybe the 30 days. So they'll buy a bunch of materials on a 30-day rotating basis, and they won't get the bill for that 30 days later or 60 days later. And so having those documents, though, on a digital platform will allow even those promissory notes, you'll be able to like potentially even trade some of those types of underlying assets, promissory notes, guarantees. It's just going to make the whole system way more streamlined. And you see here another from Atul Kakade, I hope I said his name right, co-founder of XCC Network. The MLETR is the most suitable use case for blockchain technology, and in particular, public ledger technology. XCC Network brings the needed blockchain infrastructure to support interoperability across financial institutions, platforms, and ecosystems. We are delighted to work with members of the DNI initiative and Inigio in particular to bring MLETR to life in the most interoperable, secure, and cost-efficient way. That just makes me really excited because nobody else is doing that. And with them being the first blockchain, really the only blockchain right now that's in this space, operating, doing what they are, it's huge. So I'm really excited about that. And you see here, ITFA and Inigio have released the ITFA DDOC Manager demo application. So they're like, here's the solution to that, and an opportunity for financial institutions and corporates to understand Trace. So they're calling Trace, which is basically a unique document technology to create and manage digital negotiable instruments and documents of title in accordance with that MLETR standard. So this is basically, this looks like, you see here, welcome, it looks like a demo of it, of the DDOC notary service demo. So that means that potentially, oh, here you go, you're part of that, you're part of the global trade finance, and you're an exporter, you need to upload some documents to get it quickly notarized. Look, you'll be able to do that so that you can more quickly get access to capital. All that trillions of dollars liquidity tied up. This right here is, I mean, I don't know how much more proof and evidence of adoption you need than being tied in with the organizations that are tied in with the United Nations, setting up new global standards of documents. I don't know what else to say to the XDC haters here, but that's pretty big in my opinion. And so also wrapping up here, I know this video is getting right at where I want to kind of wrap up for the day. We also have the one other partnership, Globalize, on Yahoo Finance. They actually, let me pull this up because they just on January 12th, so a few days ago, Global Financial Services Group, Globalize, launched the first DEX, decentralized exchange, based on XDC. So here's another use case right there, the first DEX on XDC. So we just see it's being further and further and further built out. Raoul Pal even said that in 2022, interoperability was going to be the main play. And XCC, we know they allow these different enterprise systems to interoperate. Actually, let me play you this clip. This was actually from yesterday. Raoul Pal talking about the 2022 crypto forecast. Listen to this really, really quick.
Interesting. Then I think maybe 2022 is going to be the year of interoperability. So we're looking at, Polygon, Quant, and a few other things that might give us those opportunities. And DeFi's been quiet.
So there you have it. This is going to be just another example of allowing different systems to come together. Now, Globalize they support peer-to-peer transactions without intermediaries and offer incentives and reward for liquidity providers. So DEX, I've not dug too very much into this exactly, but you just see here they're a peer-to-peer marketplace where transactions occur, and you can see. It'll be interesting to just see how this builds out. They go over the benefits of XCC. Of course, we know they're fully EVM compatible, near zero gas fees. Of course, we're aware of that at that point. But a lot of people new to crypto, they might not know that. So seeing this stuff and making sure that people really understand the impact of that. So seeing this kind of stuff being built out on XDC and actually being implemented, it just shows that other companies and other places are recognizing the potential of it and seeing that, well, this is actually, it might not be the absolute fastest at 2,000 transactions per second, but I mean, compared to other platforms that's a lot slower and a lot more energy intensive, this is one of the blockchains of the future, right? It's a good mix of that security, speed, safety. I mean, this is literally the package. If you're looking for as close to a generational wealth creator, then this is it. At these prices, as of the time of January 15th, I mean, you can get a good chunk of these and just hold them. Just imagine if you were an early Ethereum holder. Now, will this get to be the prices of Ethereum? Who knows? I mean, I personally don't think that it's going to be thousands of dollars, but hey, I would be pleasantly surprised. If we get to the market cap, like I said, of Ethereum, I would be very happy. So with that, what do you think though? Before we wrap up, let me know. Leave a comment below what you're thinking about XCC, and if you like this video, if you like me digging in and explaining some of these deep dive related topics to XCC and some of our other favorite projects and companies that we like to follow, I'm going to keep making these videos for you. So don't forget to leave a like on this video. Stay safe out there. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.